Good evening, race fans! Welcome to the NASCAR Report. I'm your host, Tyler White. Thanks for joining us tonight as we take a look back at the most memorable moments of the 2014 NASCAR season. But first, let's start you off tonight like we always do with our top story. Sprint will end their sponsorship with NASCAR following the 2016 season to focus on different projects. Sprint began their sponsorship in NASCAR's Top Series in 2004, known as the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, then was changed to the Sprint Cup Series in 2008 after Sprint bought out Nextel. One of the changes that were involved, well, there were a lot of changes, let's discuss them. The Chase was added while it was the Nextel Cup Series in 2004. Rockingham was dropped. Atlanta dropped a race. Darlington dropped a race. Mother's Day weekend was changed. That normally was an off weekend, but it changed in 2005 as it was a race weekend. From 2005 to 2013, it was at Darlington. In 2014, it was at Kansas. And also, more night races were involved as Texas got a night race in 2011. Also, Texas was added a second date in the fall. Phoenix was added a second date in the spring. A lot of changes happened while it was known as the NASCAR Nextel Cup and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And expect more changes when the new sponsor takes over. I don't know who will be the new sponsor in 2017, but I believe there's going to be more changes involved with the Cup Series once the new sponsor takes over. I think we're going to see new tracks. I think Iowa's probably going to get involved. Road America might get involved. There's going to be a road course in the Chase. Atlanta and Darlington, they may get their second races back. Darlington may have another race in the spring. Atlanta may have another race in the fall. Martinsville might be off the schedule. One of the reasons why I think so is because of the weather. It's not because of the fans. It's basically because of the cold weather we see there often every time we go to Martinsville. I think Pocono may lose a race date. They may only have their August race because it rains a lot there. So I'm expecting some big changes once the new sponsor takes over in 2017. That's my bold prediction. Alright, let's take a look at our most memorable moments this season, beginning with the Truck Series. The most memorable moment for the 2014 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season began July 23rd at Eldora. Darrell Wallace Jr. and Kyle Larson were battling each other hard for the win that night. Kyle Larson wrecked his truck so many times, but still was able to catch Bubba Wallace. But unfortunately, it was too late. As Kyle Larson hit the wall for the final time, his truck could not take it, and Darrell Wallace Jr. drove away with the win that night. It was also Rick Allen's final Truck Series broadcast. As for 2015, he will make his move to NBC to call the final 19 Xfinity Series races of the season and the final 20 Sprint Cup races of the season with Jeff Burton and Steve Letarte. Now, what a great race that was. And you got to applaud Kyle Larson's guts. He would take that, which he always takes it up to the high line, almost nearly close to the wall to win. That shows you he will do anything to win a race. And that's something I admire about Kyle Larson. It's a shock that he did not win a Cup race this season, but he will win a Sprint Cup race in 2015, and he will be a factor for the championship. That's my bold prediction. Alright, here's our most memorable nationwide race this season. It happened Friday, April 11th at Darlington. Coming down to the green-white checker finish, Elliott Sadler has the lead coming to the green-white checker. Chase Elliott's in fifth. All of a sudden, Chase Elliott makes the move up to second on the last lap. We have Elliott Sadler, a veteran, battling Chase Elliott, a rookie. Chase Elliott does the pump and run on Elliott Sadler, and Chase Elliott wins back-to-back races and with his first win at Darlington on his first try. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Now, I was watching the race that night, and I tell you what, I was shocked when Chase Elliott took the lead from Elliott Sadler. I was thinking, oh my God, where did he come from? Matter of fact, I was amazed this whole season with Chase Elliott. I predicted him to only just win one race this season and just have a top 10 points finish. I didn't expect him to win 3 races and win a championship. But let me tell you, I'm amazed with Chase Elliott, and he will have a bright future in the Sprint Cup Series. I know a lot of people change their minds about what was going to happen with Chase Elliott in the Sprint Cup Series, basically because of the decisions that Jeff Gordon and Casey Kane have made. At first, everybody predicted he was going to take over for Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Gordon was going to retire following the 2016 season. Well, that didn't happen because 3M signed a sponsorship, and Pasonic signed a sponsorship with Jeff Gordon, so that tells you Jeff Gordon's at least going to stay until the 2017 or 2018 season. Then they all predicted that Casey Kane was going to run, or Chase Elliott was going to take over for Casey Kane. They predicted that Casey Kane was going to be fired from Hendrick Motorsports due to his lack of performance. But that's all changed because Casey Kane just signed a contract to stay in Hendrick Motorsports until 2018. So I think Chase Elliott will make it to the Sprint Cup Series, but it's going to take some time. I believe he's going to stay in the Xfinity Series for 5 more years, which can't rush, which he shouldn't be forced to rush to make the move to the Sprint Cup Series. Otherwise, you'll see what happened to, let's say, Ricky Stenhouse. I think he rushed it. Even though Matt Kenseth made the move to Joe Gibbs Racing, I still think they rushed it with Ricky Stenhouse. And that's one thing Rick Hendrick does not want to do. He doesn't want to rush it. So I think Chase Elliott's going to stay in the Xfinity Series for 5 more years, and then when the timing is right, he will move to the Sprint Cup Series. That's my bold prediction. And now the most memorable race for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. That happened November 2nd in the AAA Texas 500. Jeff Gordon in position to win the race, coming down to the green-white checker. All of a sudden, Brad Keselowski on his bumper. Jeff Gordon kind of opens the door a little bit, Then all of a sudden, Keselowski cuts Jeff Gordon's tire, spinning him out. Then we see a wild finish in the second green-white checker finish. Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski battling each other hard. Keselowski takes the lead coming off the corner, but then coming down to turn 4, Jimmy Johnson takes the lead coming to the white flag, and Jimmy Johnson wins the race. Kevin Harvick finishes third, and Kevin Harvick finishes second, and Brad Keselowski finishes third. I apologize for that. Then all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon pulls out on pit road, parks right next to Brad Keselowski, wants to have a conversation with him. All of a sudden, Brad Keselowski just keeps ignoring him. Kevin Harvick gives Keselowski a shove. Jeff Gordon grabs Keselowski by the collar. Then all of a sudden, that Jerry Springer show breaks loose as crew members for Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski fight in the pits. Everyone in the crowd cheering. Jimmy Johnson not knowing what's going on. And then all of a sudden after the race, Jeff Gordon had some choice words for Brad Keselowski, calling him out. Called him a dip expletive on television. He was not fined for that, by the way. Now, wow. When you make Jeff Gordon that mad, you really know that something's about to go down for real. I mean, Jeff Gordon, a lot of people think of him as a nice guy, does a lot of work with charity. Some people even look up to him as a good Christian man, as known for his early days. He would always thank God after every race. He's a very devout Christian. But when you rattle his cage, he'll let you know about it. That's the 4th time I've ever seen Jeff Gordon angry. Let's go back to 2006. Shoved Matt Kenseth. 2010. Almost beat the crap out of Jeff Burton at Texas. 2012 at Phoenix. Wrecks Clint Boyer. All of a sudden a huge fight breaks out after the race. And same thing here. Jeff Gordon was in position to win. Keselowski cuts his tire, spins him out, and then Jeff Gordon grabs Keselowski by the collar and even cussing on live television. Now, everybody's used to him cussing over the radio, which a lot of the drivers do that, but when you hear a driver cuss during an interview on live television, that means they are normally 9 times out of 10, that means they're super, super mad. That's pretty much how Jeff Gordon was after the race that night. Alright, that is our show tonight. We thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tyler White. We will be back here Christmas Eve to look at the top 10 races to watch in 2015 for the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Until then, this is Tyler White reminding you for you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We will see you next time on the NASCAR Report, everybody. Have a great night, and if we don't see you on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas.